Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's start with the today's session. And first of all, let me give you an introduction that the agenda of this session, that what we are going to do in this particular session, and then we are going to start with this one. So in this particular session, I'm going to give you an introduction for the financial reporting that is F7 paper, and we are going to discuss it that how it is different from F3, that is financial accounting paper, and how this course will be executed and will be completed in a respective time period. So let's start with this session. That first of all, let me give you an introduction of myself. This is Muhammad Junaid Khalid, and I'm the faculty member, the tutor, the trainer for F7 financial reporting paper. Okay, in this financial reporting paper, if I just talk about that, what we are going to do and what are the key features of this course, that in this particular course, we are going to complete the 100% course coverage, inshallah. And definitely, what we are doing, that we will be completing the course along with the BPP and Kaplan kit practice. And during this course, what is my strategy, that I usually test students for the respective chapters and the standards. Once you are done with the specific standards like 6 to 7 standards, and after completing those standards, there will be a grand test one, and then further, after completing further 3 or 7 standards, there will be a grand test 2. And at the end, there will be a compiled grand test, which will be known as what the grand test 3. So 3 grand test exams will be conducted, in which you will be assessing with the difficult MCQs and the difficult questions, so that you can prepare yourself at a very maximum level. And these questions that is being tested in the grand test 1, 2, and 3 are taken from the different accountancy bodies. Like it is taken from ICAP, that is Institute of Chartered Accountant of Pakistan. The questions are adopted from ICAEW, that is Institute of Chartered Accountant of England and Wales, and other professional bodies as well. So these are the tests which are from which the questions are taken. These are the professional bodies from which these questions will be adopted. Now, one more thing that is the main, I would say, that is the feature for this course would be that 2 mock exams will be conducted. That is a minimum 2 mock exams. There could be a possibility that more than 2 mock exams will also be conducted. And last but not the least, there will be a WhatsApp query support system. It means if you have any concern, query related to your paper, exam, or any topic, if you are not clear with any of the topic or the treatment, definitely you can reach me out, and I am just a message away. I'm going to respond to you back within an hour or 2 hours, and I'm going to resolve your queries through it may either be a voice note, or it may either be a short clip, or in any other mode, but definitely there will be a WhatsApp query support system by myself personally. Now, this was the key features that I have discussed with you guys related to the F7 financial reporting paper. One more thing that I would like to discuss in this paper, in this session, and that is a very important thing, that is the paper pattern of F7 financial reporting paper. But before I move on towards the paper pattern, I would definitely like, or I would definitely love to have a comparison with the previous paper, because there is a perception by the students, there is a perception by the students that this paper, F7 financial reporting paper, is as similar to the F3 financial accounting paper as you have done in your previous studies. So there is a perception, I would say there is a myth, that there is a very correlation, there is a very good correlation between the F3 and F7 paper. But my viewpoint is, it is possible that the other facilitator would disagree with this one, but my viewpoint is, no, it's not that same. F3, that is a financial accounting paper. I just write down the name of that F3. F3 means that is the financial accounting paper. It is the financial accounting paper. F7, that is a financial reporting paper. Financial reporting paper. So there is a huge difference. There is a huge difference between the F3 and F7 paper. Now, what is the main difference? What is the difference between the financial accounting and the financial reporting paper? What is the difference between the F3 and F7 paper? Let's have overlook for this one. This is very important, that once you're starting a course, so you must have awareness of that the course which you are learning, the course which you are studying, you must know about the features, the agenda, the basically I would say the objective of that course, that what is the objective of that particular course. When you are studying the F3, that is a financial accounting paper, or at times it is also known as FFA, or at times it is also known as what, FA. In this particular course, that is a financial accounting course, we were just studying that how the accounts are prepared, or I can simplify it, we were doing the accounting process. We were doing the accounting process. If you just look at the, if you just try to recall the course outline of the financial accounting paper, it was like you were preparing the ledgers, you were preparing the trial balances, you were preparing the financial statements, and at times you were preparing the cash flows. So it means that we were focusing more on the accounting cycle, that we were recording the revenue. For example, there was a transaction, goods sold to customers on credit. What you have done, you made an accounting entry for this one, account receivable debit and sales credit, and same was transferred or posted to the ledgers, and then same was transferred to the trial balances, and the same was transferred to the financial statement. This was the rigorous accounting process. This was the rigorous accounting process. You were given the transaction, all what you have to do just to record the transaction, you just record the transaction, and then you have to post the transaction towards the financial statement. But in the financial reporting paper, now the site is different. It's absolutely different. Like in F3, the transaction was given and you have just recorded. But in the financial reporting paper, we will be discussing with the rules. We'll be discussing with the rules and regulations. Let me give you a very brief example for this one. Once I've recorded the transaction, that is account receivable debit and sales credit, in the financial reporting paper, we will be discussing that when this transaction could be recorded. As in the financial accounting paper, it was quite simple for you. The examiner has given you the transaction and you have just recorded that one. But now in this F7, the financial reporting paper, we are going to analyze, we are going to evaluate that when this transaction should be recorded, whether the revenue should be recorded or not. For instance, there is an accounting standard known as IFRS 15. Yes, this standard exclusively deals with the revenue. This standard deals with the revenue. That if you're recognizing the sales, it's not that easy. That if you have given the transaction goods sold on credit and you made the accounting entry, no. Now you are on the decision maker side. Remember, the financial accounting, those who are performing the financial accounting, I would say that it is more of a clerical work, that you have given the transaction, you have to record it. You are not supposed to think, being a financial accounting student, you are not supposed to think that whether the criteria is met or not, whether I should recognize the revenue or not. No, you are not supposed to think. You are not supposed to run your brain being a financial accounting student. But being a financial reporting paper, yes, now you have to think about it. Now you have to consider it. Now you have to evaluate it, that whether this revenue should be recorded or not. For example, if you are given the transaction or you have any transaction with the customer, so it means you have to evaluate based on the IFRS 15, that is the revenue recognition criteria. Revenue recognition criteria says that a sales or the revenue cannot be recognized until the 5-step model is fulfilled. Yes, there are criteria in order to recognize the revenue. You cannot recognize the revenue like receivable, debit, and sales credit. No, this shouldn't be the case. IFRS 15 states that now this is the task of the financial reporting student. This is the task of the financial reporting student, that the financial reporting student should analyze, should evaluate whether the rules given in the IFRS 15 are fulfilled or not, whether we have made the compliance with those rules and regulations or not. What are those rules? Let me give you an overview for this one. That is the 5-step model. 5-step model clearly specifies, clearly states that a revenue should not be recognized until and unless these 5-step models are satisfied. Number one, that you need to identify the customer. Now remember, being a financial accounting student, you will not be evaluating these 5-step models. But being a financial reporting paper, you will not be recognizing the revenue unless these criteria are met. Identify the contract. The first criteria, the first step, you need to identify. There are details in this one, but I'm not going to definitely discuss these details right now. This is an introductory class, and I'm going to give you an introduction for the F7 financial reporting paper. What I'm going to do, that is first to differentiate it. No, F3 and F7, these topics are not same. These subjects are not same. These are completely different. In F3 financial accounting student, in a financial accounting paper, you were only guided how to complete the accounting process. But in the financial reporting paper, you will be guided that how the rules and regulations should be applied. You need to see the compliance of the IFRS, that whether the company is complying with the IFRS or not. Identify the contract with the customer. Identify the separate performance obligation. Separate performance obligation. Number three, determine the transaction price. Determine the transaction price. Number four, allocate the transaction price. Definitely, I'm not going into the details of these points. Once you will start the course, we will have a detailed discussion of these 5-step models. And last, finally, recognize revenue. And there are certain points that when the revenue should be recognized. If the performance obligation is satisfied in point in time, it means you have delivered the goods. You have satisfied the obligation right now. You can recognize the revenue right away. But if you have not recognized the revenue, if you have not recognized the revenue, if you have not delivered the performance obligation, if you have not fulfilled the obligation, so definitely revenue should not be recognized right now, right away. It will be recognized in a later period. So these are the rules that once you will comply with these rules, then you can make an accounting entry for this one. Now you just tell me that whether you have thought while recognizing an entry for the sales, never. In financial accounting paper, this vision, this wisdom was not given to you. You were just given the transaction. All what you have to do, you need to recognize that particular transaction. But in the financial reporting paper, we'll be discussing regarding the rules and regulations. So this is the difference between the financial accounting and the financial reporting paper. Number one. Number two, yes, no doubt, I won't disagree with this one, that there is a need for the basics. Obviously, if you are having the financial accounting or the financial reporting paper, definitely the basics are required. You must have some basics related to the financial accounting or the reporting paper, like what are assets, liabilities, revenues, expenses, debit, the rules of credit. It means these are the basics that are very important, like correction of errors, control account, T accounts. These are the basics. So obviously these basics will always be needed whenever you will be learning the financial accounting or the financial reporting paper. So I must say that around 25 to 30%, around 25 to 30% of the area is relevant for financial reporting paper, which you have already studied in financial accounting paper, that is in the FA exam or the F3 exam. So definitely there will be some area in the financial accounting paper that will be tested in the financial reporting paper. Are you guys clear with this one? So approximately the area that will be considered is 25 to 30%. Are you guys clear with this one?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Erasmus, Muhammadur Rahman.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now, there is a paper pattern for F7 financial reporting paper. Let's discuss with the paper pattern that how the paper will be tested. So your F7 financial reporting paper. So your F7 financial reporting paper will be tested in 3 different sections. F7 financial reporting FR paper will be tested in 3 different sections. That is the section A, and obviously the section B, and obviously there is going to be the section C. So now section A, section B, and section C. Section A is quite simple and it's similar to those which we have already done in the previous exams. Like section A, in this section A, there will be an MCQs will be tested, or in this particular exam, it is not called as MCQ, it is basically called as OTQ, that is objective test questions. We can call it as an MCQ, but MCQ would not be an appropriate word. Why? Because it's not necessary that there will be a multiple choice question. No, it's not necessary. there will be a question and there could be a blank space. You need to type the answer. There could be a question and there could be a matching, there could be a, for example, match the best, or there could be a drag and drop option as well. So it means we can't call it as an MCQ, but yes, this will be similar to that one. So we call it as objective test questions. In this particular section, 15 MCQs will be tested and each MCQ will carry 2 marks. So which means the total weightage of the section A would be 30 marks. In this particular section A, we are going to be tested for the 30 marks, that is 15 MCQs. And each MCQ will carry approximately 2 marks. Okay, second, section B. Now, what is that section B? Section B is a bit different and it is known as what? OTC, that is objective test cases. Now, what will happen in this particular section? In objective test cases, examiner will give you a case. I would say that is going to be the scenario basically. In case 1, that is the scenario 1, there will be a data that is given by the examiner. Let me give you an example. For example, the examiner is giving you a data related to property, plant and equipment. You must have learned about the property, plant and equipment, that is in your financial accounting paper. Non-current asset basically. That for example, company purchased a property, plant and equipment on 1st of January. It is being depreciated using the straight line method over the period of 7 years. And after 4 years, the company made a revaluation. And after 3 years, further 3 years, it was disposed of. Now that is the complete scenario that will be given in the case 1. Now, there will be 5 requirements. There will be the 5 questions related to that scenario. There will be 5 questions related to that scenario. There will be 5 questions related to that scenario. For example, in question number 1, the examiner might ask you for the depreciation for the year. Requirement 2 or the question 2, examiner might ask you for the gain or loss on disposal. Requirement 3, examiner might ask you for the gain on revaluation or revaluation surplus balance. So this could be the different questions or the different requirement related to that case. And each question will carry 2 marks. Each question will carry 2 marks, which means that if each question will carry 2 marks, so the total marks, of the case 1 would be 10 marks. Definitely 5 questions will be tested, and if each question will carry 2 marks, so the aggregate weightage of the case 1 would be of 10 marks. Same situation will be for the case 2. There will be a scenario and afterwards 5 questions will be tested and each question will carry 2 marks. So in aggregate, the weightage of case 2 would be again the 10 marks. And again, there is going to be the case 3 as well. Case 3. In this case 3, again there will be same scenario. The question will be given and then there will be an options, 5 questions, 5 requirements will be there and each requirement will be of 2 marks. So which means the weightage of case 3 is 10 marks. So which means the 30 marks for the OT cases. 30 marks for the OT cases. Now so it means the aggregate weightage of the section A is 30 marks and for section B it's 30 marks, which means in aggregate this is 60 marks. And what my personal recommendation and perception is that this section A and B will give you or will test you for the 60 marks, and I think that this section A and B will give you an authority, or I would say this section A and B will give you a chance to clear this paper with very good marks. For instance, if you're scoring 40 out of 60 marks, it means that it is quite probable and your chances of success is higher. Your chances of success is more than probable. Are you getting the point? Because this 40 marks is easy to secure. It's not that difficult. I will give you the strategy right now. And if you're following that strategy, I can damn sure, I can give you a guarantee that inshallah, you will be acing your exam in the first attempt with a very good marks. So if you're scoring 40 out of 60, it means your chances of success is quite high. Because what you have to do now, you have to secure 40, and out of 40, you have to secure that is only 10 marks to just clear this paper. But my perception and I do believe that you can easily secure more than 50% marks in section C. So it means that section, if you are strong in your section A and B, and definitely if you'll be scoring more than 40% marks, so definitely you can secure, you can ace this exam with very good marks as well. So now in section C, what is the section C? The name of the section C is basically the CRQ. Now what do we mean by CRQ? CRQ means the constructive response question. Now that is a very different area with respect to financial reporting paper, as in your previous studies you must not have attempted such kind of questions or the area in your previous exams. So constructive response question, there will be two questions that will be tested. There will be two questions. Question number 1 and question number 2, let's say. Question number 1 will obviously carry 20 marks, and question number 2 will definitely carry the remaining 20 marks. Now, how it is different? Now, in this section, once you will reach to your section C, there will be a screen on your exams, and there will be a, at the end of the session, I will try to give you the brief insight. I will try to show you the portal that how the paper will be tested. So there will be a screen. In this particular screen, you will be given the question, and there will be a requirement for this question. It means on the left hand side, there will be a question, and on the right top side, there will be a requirement. Now, on this lower side, on this right bottom side, there will be a response area, which means there will be an Excel sheet. There will be an Excel or the Word file. By default, there will be an Excel or the Word file. For example, if there's a question related to the consolidation, so the complete information or the data will be given, and there will be a requirement. For example, the requirement is prepare CSFP, that you need to prepare the consolidated statement of financial position. So what you will do, you need to draft that consolidated statement of financial position to that response area, which means you're not supposed to just select the options. No, as you are doing in your financial accounting paper. In that section B, the complete format was given. All what you have to do, you need to select the option, or you need to just drop down the menu and you need to select the best answer or the correct answer. This will not be the case over here. This will not be the case over here. You need to drop the complete consolidated statement of financial position or the P&L, or if there is a question related to the final account, so definitely you have to drop the income statement or balance sheet, or if there is a question related to the ratio analysis, so definitely you have to type the ratios on that Word file. So this is something new. This is something new for you guys, and this is new for those who will be appearing for the first skills paper. So this is something that we have to practice it. Definitely in these particular sessions, we'll be practicing for this area as well, that how the answer should be presented to that response area. So there will be a question 1 and question number 2. For example, the question number 1 could be for the ratios, and for example, the question number 2 could be for the consolidation. So this will be later on, we'll be discussing, and in this particular session, I'll be telling you that which chapters or topics are most important. Now, let's move on. So this is the course outline. You can definitely take this snapshot or the picture of this one. I've already given you the detailed description, or I have given you detailed analysis for this one, that what and how it will be tested. Now let's move on towards the course outline. And you can just view that course outline, that there are definitely few topics that you must have studied in your previous studies, like in your financial accounting paper or in your F3 paper. You can just see the course outline. You can view the course outline. Now, if I just talk about that which chapter or the topic will be tested in which section. So as far as the ACCA official body is concerned, there is no rules, there is no guidelines, which means any topic or the standard or the chapter can be tested in any section of the paper. Unlike in F6 in the in the taxation paper, unlike in the F8 that is AA audit and assurance, there are some respected areas or the chapters of the topics that are specified by the examiner that these topics will be tested in those particular sections. But in F7 financial reporting paper, there is no as such guidelines by the examiner. But what I have done based on my past experience, based on the analysis, what I have done that I have made an analysis that these chapters can be tested in these sections. But yes, what I can do, I can guarantee you, or I can just tell you with a very confidence, and I can assure you that there are three topics that are very important. And these three topics are number one, the final accounts. That is the preparation of income statement and balance sheet, or we can say, or we can call it as the statement of profit and loss account or the statement of financial position. Number two, the consolidation. And the third one is the ratio. These three topics are usually tested in section C. Again, there is no confirmation from the ACCA officials. This is what I have made an analysis based on the past experience, that what I have seen that these three topics are usually tested in section C. There are two questions. So there something, a question that might comes in your mind, that out of three, definitely the examiner will be testing for two questions or the two areas. No, this will not be the case. I'm repeating my words. These three topics will be tested in section C. I didn't said that out of three, only two will be tested. No, this will not be the case. For the last three attempts, I'm observing the mindset of the examiner, that examiner is testing for the three chapters in that particular section. It means, for example, in the question number one, what examiner is doing? Examiner is testing for the ratios along with the final accounts. And in question number two, it will be testing for the consolidation. So it means all of these three topics are basically tested in section C. And you know the weightage of section C? The weightage of section C is around 40 marks, which means section C, these three areas gives you the 40% weightage of the paper. But the problem is exclusively for the ratios and most exclusively for the final account is that what I believe that final account is not a separate topic. It is basically the summary. It is basically the summary of all accounting standards, because of all accounting standards. Because in final account topic, what you will be doing, you will be preparing the income statement. And in order to prepare the income statement, examiners will be testing for the adjustments, and the adjustments will be taken from the different accounting standards, which means that all of these accounting standards are very important. If you are having a grip in these particular accounting standards, so examiner might ask an adjustment from any of the respective standard, So you must have a very you must have a very good grip and understanding all of these accounting standards. I hope that this is clear to you guys. So all of these chapters and the topics are very important for F7 financial reporting paper, and my privilege or priority is that you should complete the 100% course. And in this particular session, in this particular exam, in this particular paper, definitely we are going to complete the 100% course, inshallah. So my priority and recommendation is that you must complete the course at 100%. So this is something, the course outline of F7 financial reporting paper. Now let's move on. Let's move on to the passing ratio of F7 financial reporting paper. the passing ratio of F7 financial reporting paper. If I talk about the average global passing ratio is around 50%. It means approximately the global, the ACCA global passing ratio is, average global passing ratio is 50%. But Alhamdulillah, if I talk about our institute, that is KNS, the global passing or passing ratio is more than the global passing ratio, which is around 70%. That is an average global, that is an average passing ratio. And in the previous attempt, one of my student has also secured in F7 financial reporting paper the nationwide position in Pakistan. And there are many students who have secured more than 70% or 80% marks in their F7 financial reporting paper. Plus, Alhamdulillah, there are many students, those who have cleared the F7 financial reporting paper in the first attempt. So it means it's a doable task. You can do it. But all what you have to do, you need to follow my instruction. And what are my instructions? That is, please, you should note it down. At the start of the session, you must note it down and you need to revise it. You need to revise the instructions that I'm giving you guys. Number one, the first instruction is, please complete your course as soon as possible. Complete your course as soon as possible. ASAP. As soon as possible. Secondly, BPP and Kaplan kit should be practiced. You need to practice for the BPP and Kaplan kit. Most of the time student says that we are done with the Kaplan kit, but will not be doing or will not be attempting the questions of BPP. This is unfair. Please don't do that. Don't do that. You have to practice for both the BPP as well as the Kaplan kit questions. The third thing that you need to do, third thing that is a very important thing, that please be in touch with me. Update me with your progress. Update me with your progress. What I'll be doing, I'll be conducting different live webinars. And I'll be discussing with you queries. If you have any concern in the topic, we can definitely have a quick recap or the revision for that particular standard or the topic. So please update me with your progress. Fourth, once you are done with the course, you will be practicing for the study hub. Don't forget that study hub. Study hub is one of the wonderful resources being provided by an ACCA. Study hub, you need to practice for the study hub practice questions. Although you're not required, you're not supposed to read the theory, but what you have to do, you must go for the practice questions that are available on your study hub. Fifth, once you're done with the questions, once you're done with the course, you are completed with the course, you have to avail the material or the resources that is available at the practice platform provided by an ACCA. In this practice platform, there are multiple resources. There are past paper questions for section C only. For section C only. There will be, once you will be attempting for your attempt, ACCA will upload the FR specimen paper. This will be a 3 hours paper in which the section A, B and C will be tested. Second, there is going to be the FR practice exam 1, then FR practice exam 2, and finally there is going to be the mock exam. So these exams or these papers must be availed. Every student should ensure this one, that you should not skip these practice papers or you should not skip these specimens and practice exams and mock exams. These are very good resources and you should avail of all of these resources. Sixth, that you have to go through the examiner's report. Remember, examiner, ACCA examiner issues the half-year examiner report. In this examiner report, examiner releases few questions of section A and a one OT case of section B, and these questions are basically the challenging questions. Examiner states that these questions, that is the four questions from the section A, and obviously an OT case, that is the 5 MCQs, which means 9 questions were proved to be the challenging questions for the students who have appeared in that particular exams, which means majority of the students around the globe, around the world, were not able to attempt that particular questions, or if they have attempted, it went wrong. So which means that you need to read out, you need to practice those examiner report questions. And definitely it is going to be a difficult task for you guys to search out those examiner report and to fetch the questions from these examiner reports. So what I have done, I have compiled that examiner report. I have compiled that examiner report. You can definitely contact me, but this will be done once you are done with your course. So you should contact me. I'll be providing you with the examiner report along with the answer key and along with the explanatory video of that examiner report. So please do contact me once you're done with the course. So I'll be providing you with the examiner's report as well so that you can practice it from there. So please do follow all of these instructions, and if you are following all of these instructions, I can ensure this one that inshallah you are going to clear your exams 100% in your first attempt with the average or above marking of 70 plus inshallah. And if you will practice more and more, definitely more past papers will be practiced and more efforts will be put it on. So hopefully you can secure more than 80% marks as well, but definitely you have to work hard. So if you will follow the instruction, definitely it's quite easy to clear the paper. Now the final thing that is related to the study material, that how we're going to study. So what I've done, we know that there are two publishers, that the BPP and Kaplan, and they publish normally study text along with the practice kit as well. So what we will be doing, that we will be having a study text for BPP and Kaplan. We have a study text for the BPP and Kaplan. But what I have done, I have compiled the BPP and Kaplan study text and I have made the summary handouts, and all the lectures will be covered using that summary handouts, which means now there is no need to read the BPP study text or the Kaplan study text. There is no need to read out the BPP and Kaplan study text. There is no need, because all the theory, all the practice questions have been considered and added to that summary handouts. This will be available to you in soft copy. So this is something that we will be doing in our classes, that we will be focusing and we'll doing all the practice using that summary handouts. I hope that you're clear with this one, that this is going to be the study material. This is going to be the study material. But yes, if any of the student wants to read out and having a very good habit of reading the books, and if he or she really wants to learn from the study text, so I would recommend go for Kaplan study text. You can definitely get the Kaplan study text. I can also provide you with the soft copy of it, and you can practice, you can read this Kaplan study text, so have a very good and a better understanding. But this will already be covered in the summary handouts, but definitely this will give you a motivation that yes, you have done it from that summary handouts, so you can definitely study from Kaplan study text. I hope that is clear to you. So any questions so far? This is something that what I have discussed with you guys in this particular session. So any questions from your side? So you are most welcome to raise your questions, please. Yes, if you have any question, you can please raise your question. You can turn on your mic. You can definitely contact me through chat as well. So if there is any question related to the F7 financial reporting paper, you can definitely contact me. You can definitely ask the
सर
question. Yes, please.
सर ये F7 में जो लास्ट में जो क्वेश्चन होते हैं कंस्ट्रक्टिव रिस्पांस क्वेश्चंस, तो उनकी हम एक्सेल प्रैक्टिस आप हमें करवाएंगे ड्यूरिंग सेशन?
Bilkul. During the sessions, there are lectures in which I have taught you guys that how to practice with those questions, how the response area should be filled up. These things and these questions are being practiced over there. But still, at the end of the sessions, we will definitely be having some live webinars in the sessions in which I'll be giving you the strategy. I'll be conducting the webinars in which I'll be practicing the questions on those practice platform. Definitely, we can do that one.
Okay, sir. Is that
But
practice is available also in
yes,
the
this is
live
available
in
on your
the
portal as well. Yes, yes, these
recorded classes?
practice, yes,
Oh,
exactly. These final account past paper questions, past paper solutions are already available over there on your portal. So definitely you can watch the lectures. Other than this, we can have live session as well for those practice questions.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Any question, Mohammad Rahman? If you have any concern, your question,
No, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the session.
Mohammad Rahman, from which country you are, from where you are?
Sir, I am attending from Bangladesh.
You're from Bangladesh, great. And which subject you are studying right now?
Sir, I have applied for the registration this month, and
Okay,
the registration is on process.
okay, great, great. Best of luck for your registration, Mohammad Rahman.
Thank you, sir.
I hope that this session is useful for you.
Sir, the study planner will be
Yes, sir.
provided.
Yes, the study planner is already uploaded on your portal. So you can definitely reach out that study planner, that how it will be done and what should be the strategy. Week wise study planner is already there and will be provided to you guys. Don't worry about this one.
So thank you, sir. So, sir, I have seen the demo classes of yours F7. So my question is, all the classes on the portal is that type or something different?
No, it will be same as that as the demo that was given to you. So it will be quite similar to that one. Don't worry about this one.
Okay, sir.
And if you have definitely, I have my contact number, my WhatsApp number will be on the group. Once you will be enrolled in the course, there will be a WhatsApp group in which you will be enrolled. And after the enrollment, you will definitely get my WhatsApp number. You can reach me out through the WhatsApp and you can definitely raise the queries. If you have any concern, the queries or the questions, definitely I'm going to respond you back for those concerns.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Any other question, please?
Thank you so much, sir.
No problem, no problem. Thank you everyone for joining this session. Those who were watching this session live on the Facebook or those who were in this session via Zoom, I would definitely appreciate for joining this session. Thank you so much for joining this session and see you soon, guys. If you have any concern, definitely you can reach me out. I'm just a message away. And thank you so much for joining the session. Allah Hafiz. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.